Well, still in Lusaka, sometime earlier we did catch up with a student that's being sponsored by Workers' Compensation Fund Control Board at Chainama School of Health Sciences. This time around, we are at the Zambia Center for Accountancy Studies, known to you and I as ZICAS, and we're going to catch up with two more students who are being sponsored by the Workers' Compensation Fund Control Board. Alright, this time around we're inside the Zambia Center for Accountancy Studies College, right here, known to most of you out there as ZICAS, where we caught up with two students, well, again, who are beneficiaries of the works of the Workers' Compensation Fund Control Board, and this happens to be Vivian Kalumbakaira and Mr. Darius Yunda. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this short interview, and thank you very much for finding time to chat with us.
Thank you.
All right. I'll start with you, the lady first. Vivian. Can I call you Vivian? Okay. Sure. All right. I want to know about you. Maybe just a little bit of yourself. A little bit. Okay. Maybe let's start with that one. A little bit about yourself.
Okay. Just like you said, my name is Vivian Kalumba Kaira.
Yes.
Kaira being my married name. I'm married. I'm married to Ron Kaira. Very wonderful man. I have two children. We have two children.
Okay,
yes. Yeah. And I think that's about all.
Okay. All right. And tell us your working background.
Okay. I studied information systems and programming at NIPA. Then afterwards, I went to join AfriConnect.
Okay.
I think most people know it as iConnect.
iConnect now.
Yes,
Okay.
that was in 2008.
Okay.
That's when I joined them. That was September. I joined them. Then 2009, I got married, then was transferred to Livingston. So I went to work in Livingston. In 2010, that's when I had an accident.
You had an accident?
Yes.
Okay. All right, we'll get back to the part where you had an accident. Let's get to the gentleman now, Mr. Darius Yunda. Yes, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, my name is Darius Yunda. Yes. I studied at the Northern Technical College.
So that is in Ndola,
yes.
Popularly known as Notech.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
That's where I was based. I did the metal fabrication. Then afterwards, I joined Concordia Copper Mines. I worked there for 2 years. From there, I joined Mopani Copper Mines. That's where, from there, I continued. I worked for Mopani for 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah. Then after 2 years.
What was your position at Mopani?
I was a boiler maker.
Okay.
Yes. Something to do with the fabrication and welding. I was working, we were working in the mills, those which they use to process copper. They grind the concentrate. Yeah. From there, we were just repairing it the whole night. Then after in the morning, I just started coughing a bit. I was referred to the hospital. First, I visited the first aid, which are the clinics which are just found inside the plant. From there, I was referred to the hospital. Yeah. From there, the doctor took up the samples, and finally they discovered that I was infected with TB. Yeah, that's how they started even the treatment.
So yours is not a physical. Those are not like physical bodily injuries that you experienced. It was just an infection that you got from the mines.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because usually what happens is that when you got that infection like TB, you can't get the certificate of work, which is the SIP process.
Okay.
So once you are caught with that one, you can never work again in the industries. That's why we decided to do this.
Okay, now coming back to you, Vivian, run us through the time when you were working for iConnect and what transpired on that fateful day.
April 2010, that's when the accident happened. We had been given an assignment. We were working from Protea Hotel, Livingston. So when we went to Protea, apparently they were our clients. So they had a problem with their internet connection.
Okay.
So what we needed to do was just check on our internet connection within the perimeters. So it meant we had to climb through the ceiling, yes. So that's what happened. So we went through the ceiling, trying to change and look at their antennas if something was wrong. So then that's when we got there. From there, we did our work. It was lunchtime. Being lunchtime, I had a baby, so I had to go home and breastfeed my baby. So when getting down the ladder from the ceiling, the ladder moved as I was getting down because there was no one holding it. So it was just stationed like that.
Mm-hmm.
So when I stepped on the ladder, unfortunately it moved to the side.
Okay.
That's when I went tumbling down to the cement floor.
Yes.
That's how I fell, broke both my legs.
Oh.
Yes. But when the accident happened, I was flown to Italian hospital, which is here in Osaka. So when they looked at it, they could not operate on it. They said all sorts of stories. They said, no, the injury was too much. Yes. So they had to wait actually for it to try and heal a bit. Then maybe they could come and do the operation later.
Okay. Yes. All right. Now, I want to know, at which point did the Workers' Compensation Fund Control Board come in and took over your responsibility?
Okay. After the accident, I think it was a year after the accident, though I didn't know how my workplace was interacting with Workers' Compensation, but they had done that background work with my workplace, yes, my former workplace. So apparently a year later, Workers' Compensation Livingston got in touch with me. They called me and asked me to get to their offices. But by then I was bad. I was on a wheelchair, so I could not go to their offices. So instead they said they had to postpone the meeting, and they said they would ask me to come in maybe when I'm much better, like if I'm on crutches or something. Yes, because it was a phase. So that's how after I got a bit better, I started using crutches. Yes, that's how I got to their offices. But then what I didn't know was they can come to you. If you can't get there, they can easily come to you. Yes. So when I went there, they were like, oh, you shouldn't have come. We're going to come and find you. Yes. So that's how I got to the offices, gave my details. I went with my husband and my daughter then, because apparently they needed fingerprints for my daughter. That is, in the event that I died, my daughter will continue to get help from them.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. All right. Thank. Now, maybe coming back to you, Mr. Darius Yunda. Kindly explain to us at which point rather, did Workers' Compensation Fund Control Board come in and took over that responsibility?
Yeah, where I used to work, there is a system already implemented. Workers' Compensation has already registered these mining companies. Yeah. So immediately when you are discharged, you are even given the forms to fill so that you can go to Workers' Compensation and get compensated. Yeah. So immediately when I was discharged, I was given that form, which I took to Workers' Compensation, introduced to what they call a pension, which we receive every month. So that one was calculated and it was given to me. So I thought that I wouldn't manage with that one. So I was introduced to another, which they say party commutation. It's a very good option for those who are medically discharged. Yeah, where you commute your pension. Commute your pension, and you are given a part of the pension in a lump sum form, where you go and do some business which you want. Yeah, from there, when I was introduced to that, I was interested and I commuted. They gave me about 24,000, which I had to put in business. So I invested that money in business of chicken. They came, they inspected there's some requirements which they follow when you are doing that one. You have to inspect all the facilities that you are using and then make sure that you can manage. That's when they will release the amount, and then they will be monitoring what you are doing.
Okay.
So at the moment, that 24,000, I pressed it into business. I started learning chickens, which I am still selling at the moment.
So on top of rearing chickens, tell us about how you had sponsorship to come and learn at Zika's.
Yeah, apart from that, since I saw that I was very young, I couldn't just depend on the chickens. So there is another scheme which they offer, which is rehabilitation program. Yeah. So I saw that I was young. So what I decided was to apply for a scholarship, and this is what I did exactly. And I was lucky enough. I was picked among those who were offered. Yeah.
Okay, now coming back to you, Vivian, explain to us and the viewers out there what sort of help was and is being rendered to you from workers' compensation.
So, like I said earlier on, when I went to workers' compensation, they asked me to get a report from the doctor that was attending to me at Italian hospital to actually write a report. So when the doctor wrote a report, he stated that I had 35% disability, permanent disability. So after getting that report, I brought it to workers' compensation. So when they looked at it, they assessed and everything, and that's how I get to being on life insurance, meaning I'll still be getting, like he mentioned, there's some money that they give us, yes, at the end of the month, every month. So like in my case, I'll be getting it until I die or something. But in the event that I died, like I mentioned, my daughter was was taken off. They took the.
That's interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
So in the event that I died, she's my next of kin.
Okay.
Yeah. So she'll continue to get the same money. There was a Mrs. Lewanika from Livingston office, workers' compensation. That is the one that used to actually do everything for me, talk to me and all that. So she's the one that actually called me and asked me to say, what are you doing? Wouldn't you want to do something right now? What would you want to do?
Yeah.
So I mentioned to her, I said, given a chance, I would want to go back to school. So she was like, oh, okay, then you're very lucky because workers' compensation has that package where you can actually apply. Yes, and then they will see your application.
You felt good on that one.
Of course. And I love school.
Okay.
So that's how I got to apply. When I applied, I brought my letter to the Lusaka office, and then they said they would get back to me, which they did. And they accepted that they would actually give me a scholarship. And that's how I got the scholarship.
Interesting. Thank you very much. Well, there you have it. Big things that Workers' Compensation Fund Control Board are doing, like Mr. Yunda and Vivian Kalumba Kaira said. It's pretty much expensive, to foot certain bills for people who are injured if you're a small organization. So the best thing that you can just do for both your organization and for your employees is to register with Workers' Compensation Fund Control Board. It's beneficial in both sides, the employee and boss and also the organization. Yes. So stay close to us as we continue on this quest to showcase the works of the Workers' Compensation Fund Control Board as we talk to so many other people. Will continue coming your way.